How's it going, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about the memories from Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and how maybe they could go about implementing them into a future Animal Crossing game, which I'm assuming we're probably going to get in 2027 based on the time frame from New Leaf to New Horizons being 7 years, and I'm assuming they're using a new engine for the new Animal Crossing game, but who knows? Maybe they're going to reuse assets from New Horizons or build off of that. I don't know. Either way, I do think that the memories from Pocket Camp do provide like a good form of entertainment. It's just a matter of how exactly would that work with New Horizons, or not New Horizons, but whatever New Horizons sequel is, because the way it works in Pocket Camp is that you need to find specific furniture, and I think do you need the specific villagers unlocked as well? That part, I don't know. I don't really have too many memories unlocked, but from what I remember, you don't need the specific villagers. You just need the item that's required for the memory. So, if they were to do that in a future Animal Crossing game, would that require like those set villagers that are part of the memory, or would they just use specific furniture types? Because I think it'd be cool to implement something like that. I feel that in terms of sort of friendship moments in basically all other games besides Pocket Camp, there's not really anything too exciting that we ever see. We never really see like fun dates between villagers or just fun times hanging out besides when they're, in the house together. So I think it'd be really cool if they were to implement these in the next Animal Crossing game. Now, I don't think you should have to have all the villagers required for the memory, but maybe something they could do is say that you have a friend that has a specific villager. Maybe they could implement like a certain memory for a certain type of animal. Like there's only a specific memory that happens between interactions between like cats and dogs or something. And say for whatever the reason you don't have like any dogs on your island, but you have like a ton of cats. Maybe what you could do is if one of your friends comes over, maybe one of your friends can bring over an animal and you two can unlock the memory that way. I don't think that the memories should be specifically locked behind like, you having to visit someone. I don't think that's the right way to go about doing it. Like, I think that just could be another way of actually getting the memory unlocked. So say that you do have a cat and a dog, then you yourself could unlock the memory, and maybe it would just include your villager in the memory. But say, since typically the villager in the little memories from Pocket Camp doesn't necessarily say anything, the second player that you're playing with doesn't have to say anything either. I just think that's one of the ways it could work. Or they could go the furniture route, just having you have a specific piece of furniture unlocked, and then it unlocks the memory. Now, whether or not it would still stay unlocked if you received the furniture from like a guest or something, I don't know how they'd exactly go about doing that. Maybe it would have to be something that you specifically craft, or I guess again, I don't know how, because they do have a habit of sometimes locking things behind like you having to do certain things specifically yourself. Mostly, excuse me, for the what are they called? Nook Miles. You have to do certain things yourself. A lot of those can't be done by someone else doing something for you. Which, for that, I understand. If someone's bringing you furniture, though, I guess that could be a fun way to unlock the memory yourself. But I do think there's a lot of potential to have memories in the next Animal Crossing game, and have them some of the way that memories have been done in Pocket Camp. Maybe more room to have like a whole bunch of villagers show up. Like if you're having a party with a bunch of friends, maybe there's a way to incorporate the friends into the memory. And you could keep a little scrapbook in the next game as well, and you can always rewatch the memories as they took place, because I can't imagine it would be that difficult for the game to store the memory like that, just keeping record of the assets. And there's not really any different movements from player to player, just sort of automatically move you where the player needs to be in the memory. So I can't imagine it'd be that difficult to implement that, but I think it'd be really cool, really fun idea if they were to decide to do so. One thing that I've seen with Pocket Camp, and I do just want to look just to be certain, but I don't remember seeing any memories with special villagers, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel there's a lot of potential there. One of my previous videos, I was talking about, gosh, now I'm having a brain fart. Who was I talking about? AJP Crosser, I think that's his name. And how he was covering in City Folk the certain events that happen when you unlock certain. I don't remember if it was based on certain, like if you had the fountain or lighthouse, maybe it was something along those lines. I don't recall, but there's basically little interactions that would only occur after you fulfilled certain objectives, like getting the fountain, getting the lighthouse, windmill, stuff like that. And you'd be able to get a little bit of backstory from the Able sisters, Tom Nook, and there might have been some stuff with LaBelle. Well, she is an Able sister, I guess, but it was cool, and it was one-time thing, which kind of sucks, but still, it was cool that we got the backstory in that sort of way, and you don't typically see that in the newer Animal Crossing games. Just going off the top of my head, I don't think we really have any sort of backstory dialogue like that. Aside, there is actually two things from Isabelle you get in New Leaf. There might just be one. I do remember the first time you enter your tent in New Leaf, she talks about, well, this is after she gives you the lantern, but she talks about how she'd have s'mores with her family when she was younger, and that's kind of, I think, the only really backstory we get from her in that game, and I don't think there's really anything from Lottie, because you only see her once in that game. And there's nothing from Digby or Tom Nook that I can think of as well, so they kind of dialed it back with some of those stories, and I think the memories for the new game could be a fun way to implement things again. Just kind of getting more story out of the game. I know Animal Crossing is not typically a story-based, but just to have those little bits and pieces put in there, and none of it's really required. Like, you don't have to watch a memory, so I don't know how exactly that would work, if you have to interact with the furniture or just to have the furniture out somewhere. I don't know, because I know in Pocket Camp that there's like pre-rendered sets that they use for the little memories, and the only thing that changes, as far as I know, is what your character is wearing. I never really pay attention if the animals keep the outfits that they are wearing or not, but I think that's really all I had to say on the matter. Whether or not they actually bring this into fruition is anyone's guess, but I would like to see it, and hopefully it comes to shine at some point someday, because I do miss the story part, because City Folk, the only real times I ever saw those memories was from AJP Crosser, and if you haven't checked out his channel, go ahead and do so. He hasn't uploaded in years and years, but he did some very entertaining City Folk stuff that I think it'd be fun for you guys to check out if you're interested in a little bit of backstory around the Able sisters and Tom Nook. But just hoping that someday they bring back that sort of thing and maybe do it with memories. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I want to thank you guys all for watching, and hope that you have a good rest of your day.